F-150 radio. Call from Georgia. Chad, what's shaking in Macon?
I know the F-150 kicks butt and takes names.
Like how the high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy F-150 thrashes the competition with best-in-class towing and torque?
Mm-hmm. Not surprised. Totally saw that coming.
Chad, how do you know so much about F-150 beating the competition?
I drive the competition. Got a 10-year lease.
Kind of embarrassing, huh?
Maybe I shouldn't advertise that fact on a national talk radio show.
Good call. The Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Best-in-class claims with properly configured vehicles. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR based on Ford segmentation.
Now get a 2019 F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months, only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 0% APR financing for 72 months at $13.89 per month per thousand finance, regardless of down payment. Program number 21038 on 2019 Ford F-150. Not available on Raptor. Residency restrictions apply. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 5/31/19. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
Spring has sprung in a big way, and if you suffer from allergies, you know you need the professionals at Zero Res to come and clean your carpets and remove all those nasty allergens that have contaminated your home. Vegas, it's Clay Baker here, and Zero Res understands all this. That's why they'll come to your home, pre-treat, clean, and sanitize 3 rooms of carpet for $99. Just $99. And they'll clean 100 square feet of tile for free. Call today, 702-840-3333, and ask for the Clay Baker ESPN special. And if you're like me, you do everything to stave off pollen and pet hair and dander. All of it gets caught up in your carpet. When you come home, we know what you really want. It's the clean air quality that only Zero Res can provide. Call them today, 702-840-3333, locally owned and operated by the great McKee brothers. Go online, check it out, ZeroResLasVegas.com. Minimums apply.
Clean carpet, Zero Res it, ZEROREZ. Call 840-3333.
I'm with Cliff Miller from MJ Christensen, and I want to talk about pre-owned Rolexes.
We can locate it, we can bring it in, we can save you money. So it behooves you to come by MJ today and look at some of the most wonderful pre-owned Rolexes and all other brands that you can imagine and save money.
And it comes with the pedigree because you've got the papers.
We've got the box, we've got the papers, we've got a 1-year warranty. You can't beat these deals.
MJ Christensen, located at Boca Park. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
On Twitter, follow us at the LV Sportsline and at ESPN 1100.
Hello, friends. This is Thomas Johnson from Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. Need a great idea for lunch or dinner? Your best bet is Joe's, one of the most popular dining destinations on the Strip. Joe's provides the ideal setting for private parties with accommodations for up to 150 guests. Stop by to see us at the Forum Shops at Caesars and ask for Thomas Johnson, your maitre d'.
It's May, so we start to count down now the days until the Copper River sockeye salmon arrives. And I've got some contacts, and I'll be quizzing them as to what the date is, because it won't be around for long, and it's the best salmon I've ever had.
You missed out last year, right?
Yeah, I actually did. We waited too long to get there. We knew it was there, but it was a short run last year. As you know, the salmon run just isn't what it used to be, I guess. 702-792-9222 to make reservations, and people will be lined up for this. So, we'll get you the info as to when it's available. But everything else is available on the menu. So even if the salmon isn't there, I think you're still going to do really well at Joe's. What do we have for an angle today?
All right, we're going to switch from salmon to dogs. And Philadelphia is just 9-28 as a dog, including 2-11 their last 13. They're going against St. Louis tonight. St. Louis happens to be 8-2. Their last 10 is a home favorite. But I'm sure we're going to talk about in a moment with that game, Dave. St. Louis, though, is in that old dreaded ESPN angle.
Yeah, but the Phillies had some issues as well with travel. So, it's or was it? I've got to check and see who. One of the teams had some travel issues. Might have been the Nationals, actually. Yeah. In any event, that's the Joe's angle of the day. That's Marco DAngelo. I'm Dave Cokin. Ari Platinum is here. Thanks to Chuck Esposito for joining us the first portion of the show from Sunset Station. Time to get into some of tonight's baseball action, and we'll look first at the Phillies and Cardinals. And, the St. Louis, it's not a long trip.
It's probably the shortest, one of the shortest you could have.
So, I don't know how much that factors in, but they did play a late game. However, they also got swept this weekend. And so the Cardinals probably not in a great mood as they return home to face the Phillies. Philadelphia, the National League East, they're basically cannibalizing one another in that division. I think they might be relieved to get out and play somebody else on the road.
They should. But you look at the St. Louis, and in addition to the travel, my bigger concern is what's their mental frame after going to Chicago with a nice lead in the division, and all of a sudden you get swept and you're in second place. That's a reality check for them. Philadelphia, here's the problem. They're sending Velasquez to the mound tonight, and after a good start, he was not sharp in his last start. He only went 3 2/3 innings, Dave, gave up 3 runs in that game. He threw 99 pitches in 3. How do you throw 99 pitches?
Because he's falling behind every hitter and getting into the old Velasquez tendency, which is to lose the strike zone. I mean, his whole problem throughout his career has been command issues, and he just loses it at times, and it turns into 8 pitch at bat after 9 pitch at bat or whatever, and that's how you inflate pitch counts.
He struck out 7, and so that also takes the pitch counts deep, obviously, whenever you do that. But St. Louis, hey, they got Miles Mikolas on the mound. This guy, all he does is win, Dave. He's had 7 starts this year. They're 5-2 in his 7 starts. And if you add that to last year, he was 24-8. The team was in his starts. But he's going to be facing Philadelphia. Harper's had success against him in his career, only 7 at bats, but he's 4 for 7 against them with a home run and a double. St. Louis at home, 8-1 when the money line is competitive, and by competitive I mean plus 125 to minus 125 this season. Philadelphia just 1-9 in road games the last 2 seasons on Mondays. They don't travel well on Mondays. I'm scared to take St. Louis with the travel situation, but where I'm going to go with this one is the over. Philadelphia is 18-5 to the over on the road this year after allowing 1 run or less, the last 3 seasons on that, after allowing 1 run or less. I'm going to go over the 8.5, and that's what the line was whenever I did this. I'm seeing a couple 9s across town now, so a little bit of the value gone. If you can still grab that 8.5, that's the way to go.
Okay, we go to the Mets and Padres, and this is a great matchup on the mound tonight because Jacob deGrom appears to be back on enough, Debbie. She's texting. DeGrom looked great last start. So the elbow problems appear to be fine. It's just amazing sometimes. It really is amazing. Is this goes down as a sexist remark? Women have no concept of time, okay? They're as bad as dogs when it comes to time. Okay, and if you don't like it, tough. That's the way it goes. I'm not going to apologize for that. Now, so DeGrom looked good last start.
He did.
But the Mets have a lot of issues here as far as other stuff goes, travel and stuff like that. And San Diego is sending the sheriff to the mound, Paddock, who has been absolutely exceptional. He has yet to have a bad start in his major league career.
The kid's been amazing. He's got an ERA of 1.91. He's got a whip of 0.69 in 6 starts. Going through first time through the league, he's got the advantage. The other problem for the Mets right now is they just cannot hit. 5 straight games where they've scored 3 runs or less, and in those 5 games, they've scored a total of 7 runs. DeGrom, as you said, Dave, he went 7 strong innings, shutout ball, allowing just 3 hits and striking out 6. So that looks like the buy sign for DeGrom. But over the last 2 seasons, when he started off of a Mets loss, they're just 6-16 in his starts. But San Diego this year, and this is just amazing, at home at night, they're just 2-10, Dave. I like Paddock in this one, going against DeGrom. I'm just going to be a bystander, though. I just can't pull the trigger. No. I want to enjoy this game, and this should be just one heck of a pitching duel.
Really
if you like pitching duels, this is the best matchup on the card.
I might side a little bit with the Mets here. I didn't do it, okay? I didn't do it. That was a big weekend series for the Padres, and I just wonder if there's a little bit of a letdown after they get the comeback last night to get the Jensen and pulled out the win in that game. I just wonder if they might go a little bit flat here because they are still a young team, and young teams can do that off a big win. To me, it's the game I want to watch tonight. It should be a lot of fun at Petco this evening. Wish I had tickets for that one. The Mariners and Yankees will match up. The Mariners finally got a win yesterday. They've been regressing, and had they lost yesterday, they'd have been all the way down to 500 after that ridiculous start to the season. We'll see what they do tonight as they go into Yankee Stadium to face a New York team that's starting to get a little bit healthier. Although it seems like every time they get somebody back, then they lose somebody else. It's been that type of a year for the Yankees. But, boy, they're playing good ball and got a good win yesterday.
Yeah, you got two guys that, back in the day were two of the best.
Oh, King Hall of Fame matchup here.
Absolutely. And King Felix, you got to give him credit. Last two starts, Dave, he's allowed a total of 5 runs and 13 innings of work. But his strikeout-to-walk ratio, an amazing 16-2.
Yeah.
You know, for him to be getting strikeouts again, refinding himself, and he's nibbling the corner. He's pitching well. He's got confidence right now.
Here's the thing: he's trying to reinvent himself, like CC Sabathia did, because CC Sabathia was a similar career pattern where he was a dominating power pitcher, and he had to completely reinvent himself and did so successfully. I know this is CC's last year, but he's still a pretty good pitcher. And he's certainly not a thrower anymore. He's a pitcher now. And he's done a great job of past the 3,000 strikeout plateau in his last game. I mean, this is literally a Hall of Fame matchup because these two guys are Sabathia is a sure thing. And I think Felix Hernandez is probably at least close to a sure thing.
He should. I mean, his numbers for playing for a team that for a lot of those years were non-competitive,
right.
Seattle. So, but the thing that scares me with taking CC, you're only getting 5 innings from him, and then you're turning it over to the bullpen. And I know the Yankees. This is supposed to be one of the best bullpens in the league, but it's just not. They've had to get into slugfest this year too often.
Well, yeah, and look, it's not a complete bullpen because Betances isn't there. I don't think Britton is what he used to be by any means. So it's not as dominating a bullpen as it looked to be before the season.
Yeah, and here's a little stat for you on the Yankees the last 2 seasons. In home games after allowing 1 run or less, they're just 5-13 the next one. I actually think there's some value here with Seattle at the number. I'm leaning to Seattle in this one.
Twins and Blue Jays tonight, and I've talked a few times about Martin Perez, who is a different pitcher. And I'm telling you, if you're still looking at career stuff with Perez, you're making a mistake because he's not the same guy. That doesn't guarantee that he's going to be a great pitcher for Minnesota, but he certainly looks good. And we've got, there have been rave reviews for this new pitching coach for the Twins, who never played pro baseball, by the way. But he really has great ideas as far as pitching theory is concerned. And you look at the improvement on some of the guys in that staff, Odorizzi, Perez, maybe there's something to it. The difference with Martin Perez this year is his velocity is up and he's discovered a cutter. And the one thing we know about the cutter is if you can master it and you're throwing it hard, it becomes a very difficult pitch to hit. Well, he's throwing a cutter at 95 miles an hour. And again, no guarantees he's going to keep this up. But right now, Martin Perez is underrated in the market. Marcus Stroman is pitching good ball for the Blue Jays. Had a bad start last time out, but he's been very good this season. And nevertheless, the Blue Jays still don't win when he's on the mound. For whatever reason, I think they're 2-5 with Stroman pitching. So not getting the job done as far as that goes. The team stats are all Minnesota here. So to me, it looks like the value is on the Twins side.
Yeah, that value's shrinking away because the market's coming in and betting Minnesota in this game. It's coming down, which it's supposed to. I agree with everything you said.
I thought the Twins should have been a very small favorite in this game.
And you talk about Perez, how good he's pitched. He's allowed just 1 run in 14 innings of work his last 2 starts, and his strikeout-to-walk ratio 11-2.
His last start against Houston, he gave up 4 hits. 2 of those were infield bleeders that had just happened to get through. I mean, he was really good, and that's against the Astros.
Right, a powerful lineup. You look at Toronto, they're coming home from a West Coast road trip. I like going against teams in that scenario. Minnesota this year, 10-2 off of a loss. There's an angle pointing to them.
8-18 if you're looking for a winning percentage.
There you go. And how about this one? The last 3 seasons at home, Toronto's just 18-32 against left-handers. That puts me squarely on Minnesota tonight.
And we'll look at the the Tampa Bay Rays, who return home to face I'll call them the surprising Arizona Diamondbacks. When you consider how much they lost from last season, I think this is a team that has surprised some people. But this is not an easy spot for the Diamondbacks as they're coming off a lengthy weekend series in the altitude at Coors and now having to travel to Tampa. And they're facing a Blake Snell who's coming off back-to-back bad starts. You wonder if, unless there's something physically still wrong after this toe thing, Blake Snell ain't going to pitch 3 bad games in a row in all likelihood. You'll have to pay the piper, but to me, Tampa looks like the right side.
They look like the right side, Dave, but I cannot lay that kind of
No,
price.
the price got me off it.
With Snell, what he is. And for the kid for Arizona, now the one thing I agree with you about coming off the altitude, that's a big